That was pretty intense. Welcome to my Rogue 970 review and demonstration. The now discontinued Rogue 970, that is. And I'm just going to talk about it and show you a little bit about how it works. It's as simple as that. So, if you're interested in learning a little bit about the Rogue 970, you've come to the right place. At the beginning of the video, you saw that you can start the button by pressing the play switch on the machine itself. Now, this is the simplest way to do it, but you can also do it with a Rogue Connect app, which you can download from the Google Play Store, also known as application, which I prefer. App is for lazy folk. Oops, did I almost curse? Anyway, download the Rogue app, and then you can access more features with your Rogue. Now, quick disclaimer, this is the first, I'm going to get into the first negative of this robot, and that is, once you connect it to Wi-Fi, make sure you have a good router, because if it leaves Wi-Fi, it will shut off for an unnecessary reason. So, you need to have a good router. But, if you never connect it to your Wi-Fi, and just use the manual play button on the Rogue itself, it will never shut off due to bad Wi-Fi. Why does it shut off when you connect it to Wi-Fi and you go out of Wi-Fi range? I don't know, but that is one of the few negatives I've found so far. So, I am going to show you how you would start the robot using the application right here. First, start by selecting your robot. I have the names blocked because they are inappropriate and will be flagged. After you select your robot, you will connect, which sometimes takes a second or two. And once you connect to your robot, you'll be able to choose beast mode or stealth mode, and you'll have access to other features like recon mode, which I think the robot does on its own anyway, so more or less. Or you can send it out to clean, and it also will give you updates of the robot in red if there's a problem or whatever. So far, seems to be a pretty good update system with the robot. It will tell you if, for instance, the agitator gets stuck. It will stop and it will tell you. Here you can see the robot does not need light to see. It uses whatever it uses to sense, whether it be a laser or whatever it is. I don't know exactly what it is, but it can see perfectly fine in the dark. Overall, the robot in a new surroundings, more or less, it'll go around and find the edges of. It'll try to determine what's a room or more or less a geometric shape. And once it figures out this, then it will run passes to clean that shape. And once it thinks it's done with that area, it'll scout some more and try to find essentially, it will try to figure out what your floor plan is, one geometric shape at a time. Now, sometimes the robot acts in the almost unreal, I should say, intelligent manner. By unreal, I mean it's kind of amazing. And sometimes it does stupid things. It'll backtrack. It'll go from one side of the house and clean, and then go to the other. Now, we have two because you can get these things so cheap, and they work really good. So let's get down to the good parts of these robots. They work good. They clean very good. It's amazing how much they pick up. We just could not believe how much it picks up. I mean, and we have other people that have them too, and they say the same thing. Now, I think the reason why it picks up good is twofold. For one, obviously it must be a good design, but I mean, this is our first time with a robot vacuum, and we've had this one for 6 months. And basically, we think another reason why it would pick up so good is, I mean, think about it. The dwell time over any uh, piece of carpet's much longer than what you're doing with a regular vacuum. You're usually, with the vacuum, you're moving it so fast, even though there's more power and more vacuum and more agitation, you're just moving the thing so fast compared to what this does. And this moves in 2 speeds. In beast mode, I think the speed is boosted a little bit, but I can't know for sure. I haven't quite figured it out. Either way, it has a way of sensing if it's picking up something, and it will slow down. Now, I think if your vacuum is going slow permanently, which our one vacuum just was at the end of this video, you'll see. Not exactly permanently. I think what it's doing is the filter's getting a little bit clogged, so it's getting a heavier load on the vacuum motor, so it artificially thinks it's picking up things when it's not. And boom, you see there, it hit the concrete stepping stones over there. See, that's just one of those stupid things it does. Now, for most part with the house, everything works pretty good, but we found this vacuum has a problem spot in our house. Over there by the stepping stones, we had to put up, when a vacuum, you got to put up barriers, because it has, even though the stepping stones are, I believe, 2 inches tall, it has a problem seeing them. I don't understand why, because for the most part, this vacuum actually sees really good. I don't know what it is about those stones, but it just has a hard time seeing them. So when you vacuum, you might find you might need to put up a little bit of barriers there and there, here and there, I should say. Now, our carpet, I mean, there's animals, so there's going to be hair. We bring in wood, so there's going to be bits of wood or pieces of bark, and then there might be, we're in and out, so usually don't have the shoes on, but you might get even my pant leg, it's inevitable, in the mud all the time. There might be a piece of mud or something that falls on the carpet. And overall, these vacuums, what I was afraid of was that they were going to be easy to break. Essentially, they were going to be glass vacuums or paper vacuums, but no, they've held up. They've held up to everything that they've been tested to, really. Only one time something stopped the agitator on the one vacuum. It was, I forget what it was, but it sensed it and shut the vacuum off right away. See right there, that vacuum is going slow. I got after it was done, I checked the filter and it was dirty. So, and that's the second con, I should say, or negative, I should say again, about this vacuum is Hoover has discontinued this vacuum completely. You can't not even get filters for them. But don't worry, there's filters out there that will work. Third party for another vacuum that fit. I will put the picture up here which filter is. It took me a little bit of time to figure out this filter will work because I was scouring the internet for filters about the same size, and this filter will work. You just make a small spacer, no problem. Boom. And they're cheap. But I called Hoover and they wouldn't say why they discontinued it. But only one thing makes sense to me. It's not safety, because they would recall it, obviously. I think maybe there was some sort of patent conflict with another company or something, because what company would not only discontinue a product, but discontinue all their parts? Because parts is where companies make a lot of profit, especially filters, which you can charge $1 if they're aftermarket, usually $2, or if they're OEM, $10 or $20 a piece, and they only cost probably 10 cents to a quarter to make tops. I mean, that's a quarter, probably be pushing it. So that's the only thing that makes sense. So that's another reason why these things can be picked up so cheap, is twofold. I think Hoover just dumped them off, got rid of them for as cheap as they could to wholesalers or whatever, and the word's out now that basically they're discontinued, because when we got our first one, it wasn't officially discontinued yet, but it kind of seemed like it was going that route, the way they were just everywhere for cheap. So you should be able to pick one of these up somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 to 150. Maybe after this video, if it gets any views, 200. But overall, it seems like a great vacuum. Now, every now and then, if it seems to run into things a lot more than normal, you need to wipe the dust off the face of it so we can see better. I've noticed it do that a couple times, and then wipe it off and it's fine. Like I said, though, it does overall usually see very good. Now, another positive about the vacuum is it doesn't blow with the HEPA filter. I mean, it really don't blow any exhaust dust or anything, so it doesn't make a mess while it's cleaning the mess. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, we run the vacuums, try to run them every day or two, and here, I'll bring up the clip next to show you what you can expect. Well, maybe not you, but what it does here in a day or two. I know you don't really want to see it, and I accidentally recorded this vertical, but yep. Now, if you do have pets, even a pet, I mean, this is a reality, because they make hair and dander. So that we also have a ton of air filters. We got tower air filters in every room, so especially if you suffer from any sort of allergies or whatever, that's a must. But the things work great. I mean, we also have our main vacuum is a Hoover Wind Tunnel 3. We have, which is a great pet vacuum also. I mean, it picks up awesome, and I'd be almost inclined to say these work as good, if not better, than the wind tunnel. I mean, in all reality, because I could vacuum after these vacuums, and it'll obviously pick up a little bit, but nothing crazy. So usually now, you only need the vacuum with the upright vacuum once every week or two to try to use the little extra horsepower it has to, I wouldn't even really say catch up, but maybe to get any spots that it somehow missed with these things, which is not really that likely, because these actually can go in places that is hard for you to vacuum. For instance, it can go under the recliner that it's about to go to, which it will. If you lean back, it'll go right under that recliner. You gotta wait till it comes back out. With regard to the trays, they're so easy to empty. I mean, it takes like 2 seconds, and then you take a brush and brush off the pre-filter, which is a screen. And the regular filter should last a long time, like at least a month, easy. Now the batteries on these last about an hour. Is what I'm getting, which is good. I mean, you got to be careful though, because if you tell it to go out and it doesn't clean the whole place in time, like it runs a lot of circles or something by accident, or plays Ring Around the Rosie with your pets, it'll come back and charge and then try to go back out and finish a job, which is great unless you're not prepared for it to go back out. For instance, you might have something on the floor you don't want it to run over, or you move barricades or whatever from spots that it has problems with. So just gotta pay attention to see if you think it's actually done or if it's just charge it back up so it can finish the job. And then if you have the application, aka app, on your phone, you can check. It'll say what it's doing, if it's done or if it's charging, or if it'll say basically when it's charging. I believe it will still say in mission or whatever it says. So there should be some sort of indicator saying if it's done working with this job. So with that, I think that's about it. The only other thing I can think of about saying is usually it finds its home. The only time it won't find its home is if it really plays Ring Around the Rosie with an animal or whatever, or if it gets blocked somehow by an animal or whatever, it will shut off. Sometimes after playing Ring Around the Rosie, it won't shut off, but it'll just lose its home. But 9% of the time, well, I shouldn't say that. If nothing gets in the way in excess, it will find its home. So that's about it. I'll leave you to just some GoPro footage of it running around, and I do recommend this for its price point. Obviously, I don't have a lot to compare it to, so unless there is something way better you can get for $100 to $200, this is it. This is what you should buy for sure. So let me know in the comments if you've listened for this long. I'm sorry, but if there is a better robot you can buy for this price range that is still supported fully. Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like a tie-dye shirt.